I'm so relieved.
Hey, good morning, Kimberly and Trisha. Jay, good morning, Angela. Good morning, Patriots. I was with a friend of mine the other night, Peter George. He listens to the show. He's one of those groups. They moved to Mexico. They became Mexican nationals.
Oh, I remember you saying that. And he was here in town?
They come back and forth, he and his girlfriend. Hey, Sean, good morning to you. Anyway, they call if you're an American that goes and gets becomes a Mexican national.
Yes.
They call them expats.
I was like expatriates.
Yeah, I was like, what's an expat?
I couldn't do that.
So they themselves are referred to as expats.
Okay.
Expatriates.
That makes sense.
Good morning, Chris. Doing well this morning. What's the good word of the day?
There's a lot of good things going on.
Yeah, there's good, there's bad, there's every day.
Good,
sometimes it's easier to find. Sometimes it's more difficult. We have fun around here. That's for sure. We do our best as we continue to bring you Cancel This. This is the show before the show. Just kind of talking a little bit, putting final touches on the show, getting things lined up here. There was a lottery ticket that was picked for the mega last night. One winner,
in Florida,
$1.58 billion, the most ever. I think it's a lump sum of over $700 million.
Yes.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. You take the lump sum, so you have $750 million.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's taxed on top of that. Correct?
I thought it was already the taxes were taken out, and the money that you had, if you had a good accountant, you could then put it in funds.
Hey, Ben, good morning to you, buddy.
It wasn't taxed.
Hope your dad and family's doing all right. They were, I was just curious. I mean, if I'm ever to win, I'm just curious, do I count on the taxes being taken out after? I'm assuming there's more taxes. There has to be.
There is somewhere.
Oh.
Yeah, like Jay said, the taxes, they're already taken out. I thought so. And you just have to have a good accountant and a good attorney to figure out where to put it.
Interesting. Did anyone hear about St. Charles Marketplace Exchange? Oh, that was in the St. Charles area. Trisha said that. The lump sum
I heard about that.
Taxed. The lump sum is taxed after. What does that mean?
I don't know, because
that sounds like what I thought. Jessica says 30 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, probably is.
Hey, all of our lottery winners, let us know, please.
That's right. That's right. I had plans for that money, Vic. I mean, I had plans, and I was so disappointed.
I've heard this before. I have heard this. It might be a Friday conspiracy theory show. To win the lottery, you have to be from Florida or California.
You know what? David said that this morning, too. Yes.
Well, they're two massive states with population.
Correct.
Then you start playing the odds, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, that looks like that's the two places they come from. Occasionally on the East Coast, but not very often. We fly over states, get forgotten all the time. But I had plans for that money. It's going to be good. But the lottery gods don't care.
Hope everybody's doing all right as we get everybody rocking and rolling on this. What is this today? Wednesday. Happy hump day. Happens way too often. Jay, I agree. It does.
It does. Yep. You know what August the 9th is?
Besides today, August 9th is?
9 years ago is when the whole thing happened with not George Floyd, Michael Brown.
Oh, this day?
9 years ago, I believe.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's not really a day that I want to remember, but it comes up on my memories on Facebook.
Yeah. I hear you, though. Interesting. Time flies, that's for sure.
Yeah, it does.
This show's going to fly today, too. 2 guests. Lots of funny videos. Lots of cray going on.
Yes. Good show coming.
Like, subscribe, share the show as always, guys. You can send us stars as well. We appreciate that. Chris says, means you're taxed 35%. That's state and federal, of course, after you receive your lump sum. So you receive your lump sum of $750 million, and then you're taxed on the 700. That's what I figured.
So you're taxed and taxed and taxed. You're taxed.
Now, you would only be taxed that 35%, the state and federal, if you space that money out over 30 years. Then you wouldn't. When you do the lump sum, you're giving that money back.
Why don't they just charge sales tax on the ticket?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you.
Yeah. And Mary says Fox News used the term Michael Brown was gunned down this morning.
Oh.
But I agree with Bindi. I support Darren Wilson. I still do.
Gun down is which Fox News? Fox National? Those are producers who just don't, they forget. That's stupid. That's sad. That's reckless.
Yes. I mean,
it's another reason why I got so frustrated with local news.
Yes. It started the whole BLM, all that craziness.
I have a African-American guy I follow on Instagram. His whole mission is to show African-Americans that BLM has done nothing for them.
Yeah, nothing.
Like zero.
And
he breaks down the list and how was your life better? And he breaks it all the way down. I'm like, oh my God. It's good, but it's bad. Oh, Fox 2. Of course,
well, that
Mary.
Makes sense.
I wouldn't watch that stuff. I just wouldn't. I told you there's really good people over there and talented people who are anchors and reporters. I was always amazed with meteorologists. I always give them credit because they have to do a lot. They really do. People rip meteorologists, but the people in charge and some producers.
Yep. It was the only local news I even was still clinging to a little bit. But then once you weren't there anymore, I'm like, okay, I'm not watching it
I wouldn't watch if I wasn't there, right?
Right. I did watch it when you were there. But after that, I'm like, no, it's the truth.
We're having
but
fun.
I didn't know you then.
Uh-huh.
I just thought you were good.
Thank you. It's a Weed Wednesday. It's also a Wacky Wednesday. All right. Let's go ahead. Yeah, we're getting people in here. Appreciate it. Good morning to you, Annette. David Sparks. Also, the anniversary of the bombing of Nagasaki.
Of course he knows that.
He's my history dude.
Yes, he is.
Michelle says, I only watch local news for weather. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean,
that makes sense.
You get your sports everywhere else. You get your, no, local news. I mean, I'm honest about this. There are some local stories that I think they do a good job with, but far and few between. Just a lot of good people, though. There are good photographers, editors. Bendy says, I support Darren Wilson wherever he is.
Yes.
Because his life changed
forever.
It did. And he did not ask for that. The convenience store owner did not ask to be robbed or assaulted either. And Darren Wilson certainly didn't ask for a guy to come jump in his car, which we saw in video. Anyway, okay, let's go ahead and start the show. Some days you go into work and you want to be there. Some days you don't. Some days you know it's going to be a good day. And some days you know it's not going to be. Or It's going to be more of a challenge.
Correct. But today is a good day to have a good day.
David Sparks says the headline today would have read, U.S. commits mass genocide on Japan. It's not funny, but that's funny. David, I'm with you. I'm smiling. I can already see you smirking in your little smirky way.
He's a smirking.
Hey, guys, it's Cancel This, canceltheshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and Pro Joe. It's a Wednesday. It's August 9th, 2023. We're here until 10 o'clock Central Time. Like, subscribe, share the show, jump in. You know what we do with headlines, news, politics, culture, cancel culture, business. We cover it all. Entertainment, of course. You know what we do on Friday. Still putting together a Friday show. If anybody has any ideas or great guests for us when it comes to that conspiracy theory, paranormal, free-for-all Friday, let us know. We'll get that rocking and rolling for you come Friday. I'm still getting a lot of feedback from JR, who we had on JR Moore, who we had on last Friday, which was great, about Antarctica. So we're grateful for that. Okay, share the show. You can always send us stars too. If you go onto all the platforms, you can like us there. You can send us a thumbs up, a high, whatever, a hand. It helps with the algorithms that we have. Coming up at 8:30, we've got Jason Redmond from NEUAGE Health and Wellness that making his first appearance on the show. Grateful for that. Jason is a co-owner of the facilities. They have them in Ladue. They have them in O'Fallon. All about how you can lose weight quick and healthy and what's happening. Even Jason's own experience, what's happened for him, because he looks amazing after going through the process. It is that easy if you follow the tools. Coming up at 9:30, Emily Williams. She's my favorite Greenlight Dispensary GM because she's the only female. And so Emily's coming in. They've got the underground coming up. That's the market. It's kind of like a farmer's market. You can get your products a little cheaper when it comes to cannabis in the state of Missouri. So we appreciate you jumping in. Plus, we've got all kinds of things. Trump, he's an expert at the press conference. He had some great quotes yesterday we're going to show. Joe Biden losing his mind again. You got a cocaine cover-up. And he's talking about ninth wonders of the world. Legitimately, not joking. A scary picture of him and Hitler that look identical to each other. Josh Hawley. I'm sick of bullshit where people say, well, Josh Hawley, I didn't like Josh because I couldn't get an interview with him. And I'm honest about stuff. I'm direct. I'm black and white. But he's doing a damn good job. Mm-hmm. He is. Just wait till you see some questioning of some candidates that the Biden administration keeps putting forward, and he destroys them. You want your health minister to kind of look the part, don't you?
Yeah, you do. You want him to be healthy and lean.
Yeah, well, wait till you or athletic. Wait till you see China's health minister compared to the United States, Britain, Belgium, and Canada. All I can do is laugh about that. Good news for public schools in the state of Louisiana as well. And AB having to sell 8 brands. Anheuser-Busch having to sell 8 brands. Guess who's helping them buy? One of my favorite, Shock Top. I don't know to buy beer, but if I ever get one, it's a Shock Top. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Anheuser-Busch selling Shock Top as well to a cannabis company. So there you go. That's what's happening. All right. Our partners make this all happen. We appreciate that. We're going to give you our partners right now. Stay with us. This is just a couple minutes. We'll be right back. Like, subscribe, share the show. We'll jump into some of this stuff right now. So much to get to right after this.
House has the largest selection of solid wood with the hottest new styles. Real furniture that's built to last, like our solid bedrooms, living rooms, and dining from Kincaid. Our volume enables us to save you a lot of money, especially during our solid wood sale. Plus, get free financing, fast free delivery, and free in-home design. So for solid wood, sweet styles, and solid service since 1964, shop over 3 football fields of furniture at Carroll House, because you like nice things.
Hey guys, this is Dr. Mahesh Bhagway. I'm an orthopedic surgeon here in St. Louis for over the last 20 years. I went to Washington University. I got my medical degree at St. Louis University. From local high school athletes, college athletes, weekend warriors, injured workers, and even Cardinal baseball players, I've treated them all. Our practice strives to personalize care with every new patient being seen by me. To find me, contact my staff at drbagwe.com. That's DRBAGWE.com. Hopefully you don't need me, but if you do, you can find me now.
Jonathan, what does make Rockwood so special?
Rockwood, we carbonize it higher than anybody else does. So we're cooking out everything that produces ash, smoke, anything like that. It gives you a lot more control over the temperature, a lot more control over the fire, and it's 100% Missouri product.
All right, where can people get it?
It's at 100-plus locations around St. Louis, any Deerberg, Straub's, meat markets, wine and cheese stores, hardware stores, you name it, we're around St. Louis. Just check the website.
And good charcoal should be able to break apart in your hands like
absolutely,
does,
yeah.
Right?
If you can't break it apart by hand, it's not charcoal yet. It's still wood. They didn't do the job, so make sure it can break apart by hand.
All right, get your Rockwood charcoal.
Marco, wait. What? No response? Hi, I'm Curtis Sparks with Complete Auto Body and Repair, offering full service and auto repair to St. Louis and St. Charles. We are looking for someone to say polo. That's right, we are hiring. We want you now. If you would like to work in a well-paying environment, then you owe it to yourself to stop by one of our 6 Complete Auto Body and Repair locations. Will you help me find that missing person? Please call me directly at 636-488-HIRE. That's right, 636-488-4473.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixed the cars. Attention, anyone who served, lived, or worked at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987. Camp Lejeune's drinking water was dangerously toxic, and base personnel and their families have since suffered cancer and other illnesses. If you or a loved one spent time at Camp Lejeune and were diagnosed with cancer, you may be eligible for significant compensation. Call the Driscoll firm now. Consultations are free, and you won't pay a fee unless we get you the money you deserve. 1-800-805-4800.
Hey guys, welcome back into CancelThisShow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and Projo. Appreciate you joining us for this August 9th podcast. Lots to come up. Jason Redmond with NEUAGE Health and Fitness coming in at 8:30 for just a short time. Plus, we've got Emily Williams with Greenlight Dispensary, the largest dispensary in the state of Missouri, offering the best products and the best prices. They've got an underground sale coming up, kind of like a farmer's market for cannabis. Won't want to miss Emily at 9:30. She is a ball of energy, that is for sure. Okay, one of my favorite doctors that I follow with medicine, like new, real medicine, not old doctor pharmacy stuff. Mm-hmm. Dr. James D. Nicolantonio. Dr. James D-I-N-I-C. I follow him. Interesting. He's like, if you ever have to choose between sleep and exercise, choose sleep.
Yes.
Without sleep, we can't properly recover from exercise, but that's also meaning that you're exercising too. Not just, I'm just going to sleep all the time and not exercise. He also said we eat more the next day and are less able to fight food cravings when we're tired. I know what that's like.
Yeah.
100%. When I'm rested, I'm not as hungry.
Me too.
I'm not. Same thing. Makes sense. I love that guy, though. Dr. James D-I-N-I-C. You should check him out on Instagram. I've been trying to get him on the show as well. Okay. So Chris says, did we decide on Joe's new nickname? I don't know. I didn't. I think Joe did.
There was a poll.
Yeah, there was a poll, and I think it was 73% said stick with Projo.
Correct.
Projo.
73% want you to just stay the way you are. Just the way you are, Joe.
That sounds like
if I put it in the hands of the fans or the listeners, that they would do me right.
They are your fans.
And they did do, yeah.
And they did you right.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like Trump polling. I wonder who came in second. Did we get a total on what second place was?
No, I didn't get all that information.
Okay, I was wondering who was the Ron DeSantis in the polling.
I think it was FloJo.
I like FloJo. Mm-hmm. I do like FloJo. I'm sorry. That if I had my druthers, I'd be calling you FloJo. Okay. With that being said, where do we want to? Do you want to start with Trump?
Of course.
Do we want to start with Biden, Hawley, the Chinese minister? Well, you know I was talking about health. Gosh, let me pull his name up again. Can we?
Yeah.
Can we show the Chinese health minister?
Please do.
I love this stuff. I mean, the guy is amazing. We're going to show you this here in just a second. Before he plays it, this is the Chinese health minister, Ma Zhawei. I'm trying to pronounce it right. Look at this badass. Just look at him on the bar. Look at this guy go. He is the man in charge of Chinese health ministry. He is in charge of the decisions. That is a badass, right?
Yeah, it is.
That is a bad man.
Woo.
And then at the end of this video, okay, and then if there's any way to hold the video, that would be great. There's America's health minister. That is a he, she. Binary,
God.
John Binary. I don't know what he, she calls him. I really don't. I'm not being disrespectful. I don't know what that person refers to themselves as. There's Belgium, there's Canada, and there's Britain. And these four are telling a lot of people how they should live their lives from a health standpoint.
That's disturbing.
Is that not?
I mean, it's disturbing.
It's like, holy shit, that's wrong.
Wow.
It's just, I'm sorry. There's just certain qualifications for jobs, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
I like to identify as a mechanic, but I couldn't get to the bottom of an engine if my life depended upon it. I like to fancy myself a chef, but I couldn't cook a damn good meal if my life depended on it. You kind of have to know
what your strength
and be the
is.
part, right?
Yes. Oh, I identify as a millionaire.
I think China's doing a pretty good job.
For sure.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Aaron says Wayne Brady likes having sex with pans, or he's pansexual. That came out yesterday or the day before. I'm like, I don't even know what it is. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Pretty bad. Chris says, hey, Vic, you should have Dr. Sean McCaffrey from Springfield, Illinois on as well. Excellent. Common sense, completely against the medical big money establishment. That's good news to hear. We'll jump in with him too as well. Jay says, I'm your health advisor, but first, let me catch my breath after those 2 stares. Yeah. Wow. I'm
going to hold on to that video because when Jason gets here, we should play that for him.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
I love it. Mm-hmm. Health. They may be candidates for some shots.
Mm-hmm.
Semaglutide. We'll see where that goes. Oh. Okay, just had to get that out there. It just blew my mind when I saw all of that stuff. Okay, we'll get into Trump. Let's jump in just a little bit because his quotes are amazing. Which one do we have first? Do we have what he said he'll do when he becomes president in 2024? The critical race theory. We'll pop that up. I find it interesting because polling in New Hampshire, about 57% say that even if he was serving time, they would still vote for him for president of the United States. Here's your leader.
We will get critical race theory and all other woke lunacy out of the United States Armed Forces. And we will abolish every Biden COVID mandate and rehire every patriot who was fired from our military with an apology and with back pay. We will get critical race.
Hire every military personnel that was fired because of their refusal for Cupcake and other health issues with back pay.
Mm-hmm. I think that is absolutely perfect. And it redeems anything that he said about taking the thing in their arm.
No, I agree. And he's not talking bullshit. He knows what he's saying.
Yes.
He doesn't say things just to get a campaign boost. He doesn't need a, quote, campaign boost.
No, he's got plenty.
I just found that interesting. But that wasn't it. He also has a lot of energy. Here's what he had to say about indictments. And just listen to the crowd. There's an energy, as there always has been, around this man named Donald J. Trump, and it's not going to stop.
How can my corrupt political opponent, crooked Joe Biden, put me on trial during an election campaign that I'm winning by a lot, but forcing me nevertheless to spend time and money away from the campaign trail in order to fight bogus, made-up accusations and charges? That's what they're doing. I'm sorry, I won't be able to go to Iowa today. I won't be able to go to New Hampshire today because I'm sitting in a courtroom on bullshit because his attorney general charged me with something. Terrible.
Bullshit, 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 bullshit.
I love it.
I mean, this is stuff that we have never seen. We have never heard in America because you've got a guy who knows how to talk.
Oh, it makes my heart good to hear him say that.
You've got a guy with energy.
Yes.
I mean, literally, right. He's like, you got a candidate. Joe Biden's bullshit, his indictments. Speak truth. Speak it black and white. Don't be afraid. You finally have a candidate who will do that. But that's not it. He also, besides bringing back all military personnel who were fired for taking a cupcake with back pay, he also promised to do this, which is very interesting, especially with what we're doing about, with what we're going on with this country right now.
Economic boom. I will immediately terminate every open borders policy of the Biden administration. Our country is being invaded. Following the Eisenhower model, we will use all necessary state, local, federal, and military resources to carry out the largest domestic deportation operation in American history. Gotta do it. Gotta do it.
Gotta do it.
He was on fire.
Yes.
Every press conference. By the way, and we'll show you this a little bit later in the show. The last presser / interview that Joe Biden did was back in July until he did one yesterday with The Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel. Give me a break.
Really hard hitting stuff there. Lots of thunder in that interview. Yep, can't make stuff up, as we always say. Trump continues to roll down that path regardless of everything else that's going on. Will he debate or not? We'll wait and see. Certainly doesn't have to. He has proved himself from that standpoint. This is cancelthisshow.com. We're going to interview. You know what? We can bring Jason in whenever he wants to. Jason's here. We'll get him in. Let him do his thing. Still to come. You will not want to miss this. Joe Biden.
I don't want to miss it.
He's calling something the ninth wonder of the world. And this is Joe Biden 2. This isn't even the original. This is Joe Biden 2, which is supposed to be better, which is not better, unfortunately. Plus, he knows who the cocaine belonged to. We'll get into that.
Of course he did. And he knew all along. He knew.
There's got to be some Vegas polling that we can find. Maybe somebody can look that up, whose coke it was. In the White House, because this should have been an open and shut case. It's not a big deal. And then, of course, it gets its own identity because of what's going on. All right. I'm excited because we got a good man in studio, Jason Redmond, co-owner of NEUAGE Health and Wellness. Damn, your graphic looks really good.
That was my glamour shots photo.
It looks good, man.
It does look good. I like it.
You did really well. Kathy Helbig Strick, Steve Strick, normally in on Wednesdays around 8:30 when we talk real estate. You don't know real estate and mortgage too, do you?
No, I bought a house. I've sold a couple. That's about as far as I go.
Figured, well, I didn't know if you learned like just being around them, you're going to give advice. By the way, that first GOP debate, August 23rd, we appreciate that, Mayor. We appreciate your live interaction with this podcast, which separates it, makes it as good as it is. Jason Redmond in now with NEUAGE. We've had so much popularity, at least on this show, not only throughout the St. Louis area, but throughout the country when people are listening, jumping in, having questions regarding, wait a second, what are these shots? How can we lose weight? How can we be healthy? What can we do from this standpoint? And then I find out that we have an opportunity to have you on. Lizzie and Steve have been in Vegas. Are they back from Vegas yet?
Not quite. I think Kathy's out there doing big things still.
That's a real estate conference, right?
That's what I heard, yeah.
Okay, hopefully they get some really good advice and help things in St. Louis. Then Lizzie tells me today she's going to be in at the Ladue Clinic. When is that going to be?
The 18th, a week from Friday. So I think that's the 18th. I'm coming in. You guys are going to fix me all up.
Saw that on the schedule. I'm excited.
Yes.
What's wrong that you think you need to get fixed up, that you need to go to NEUAGE?
I don't know. I just want to find out. Because I'm sure there's a lot. So I want the whole blood work done. All of it.
Can you start there, Jason? And because Lizzie's like, I don't know, I'm going to find out because I've been told you can really be living better.
Yeah, I mean, we do a few things over the counter, but most of our treatment plans start with the blood panel. And if we'll get into the hype around some of the drugs that are out there right now and the misinformation on them. But we start with a very kind of hormone-specific blood panel to kind of dive into what might be driving some of these symptoms as we age, right? Mm-hmm. And then once that comes back, we bring you back about a week later. We'll sit down with the team, and they'll have a plan in place to basically take the symptoms that you've told us on your intake form that you're dealing with, compared to your blood work, and we'll show you how we can optimize your levels to help alleviate some of those symptoms.
That's great. And I've heard Kathy talk about once you get to our age, and I'm in mid-50s, and I still feel like I'm 30 in a lot of cases because I have a lot of energy already, but I want to feel like I'm in my 20s. I want a lot more energy than I even have.
Yeah, I mean, energy levels are a huge one. I think there's this misconception that as we age, we just have to take on,
correct,
some of these side effects. Mm-hmm. And what we do at our clinic is really try to help educate that that's not the case, by optimizing your hormone levels, by helping you maybe lose some weight, whatever your struggles independently are. We've got a fix for most of it. So
talk about your experiences too, because you have certainly undergone a transformation over the years as well.
Yeah. I mean, at 6'4", I've always been kind of the tall, thin guy. My friends would call me skinny fat when we were younger because I always played sports, but I just carried weight in weird places. And when you elongated over this frame, it just kind of was frustrating. So
sure.
For years in my 30s, I was in the gym 4 or 5 days a week. I was eating healthy. I was doing all the right things, and my body just wasn't responding. And then I would pair that with the fatigue, the lack of sleep. I think the thing that really pushed me over the edge was, I think I was about 36, 37, and I started waking up at about 4:30 in the morning every night. I have to go to the bathroom. My mind would be wandering. Take me an hour or so to kind of shut it back down, and then I'm back up again in 2 hours. And that was so frustrating. Mm-hmm. And I was at a tattoo shop talking to one of my friends, and he said, well, talk to this guy. He knows about this hormone stuff. And I'm thinking this is like a black black market, back alley conversation.
Right.
How long ago was this?
This was about 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was 38 at the time. He turned me on to a friend of his that had a clinic similar to ours. And I went in and got my blood work done and found out that my testosterone levels at 38 years old were that of a 70-year-old man.
Oh, wow. Is that why you were not sleeping throughout the night and all of that? As many of us have that problem?
Yeah. I mean, the hormone imbalance was a big one. I was deficient in vitamin D. I was deficient in B12. A lot of things that help stimulate energy and help with that circadian rhythm and things at night. So within, I don't know, for me, 3 to 4 months, I felt like a different human.
Wow.
It was so eye-opening. And I was in the car business and working those long hours and, things of that nature. So for me, it was getting my sleep back. And then the best way I can put it is testosterone in men, it makes effort feel good. So you have all this energy all of a sudden and you want to do something with it. So
you do.
I've in the gym. Yeah.
I've told people about getting my own shots over there. You got to get back on those from that standpoint. Yeah. Linda says she has an appointment in O'Fallon today. So she is jumping in there.
Yeah.
Nicole Jenkins, co-host of our show, who comes in. Nicole, I know you deal with tons of customers. I don't know if you know who Nicole is.
Yes, I see the names. I know the faces.
Nicole was on here bragging, promoting NEUAGE as well just a couple of weeks ago. Lizzie's got her appointment set next week. Robert asked a question. I know this. I'm looking. Robert says he lives in Michigan. What about remote customers, telehealth? What can you guys offer? What kind of advice would you have for Robert?
Yeah, so we partnered with LabCorp. They're one of the nationwide blood labs. And so for a remote patient, there are a handful of states that our pharmacies just don't ship to. But for a remote patient, we would we would set you up with a requisition through our blood lab. You can go to the nearest one by you, do that panel. They'll send us the results. We'll schedule a Zoom meeting with our team, and we can actually treat you remotely.
I mean, it goes so fast.
Great.
Talking with Jason Redmond, co-owner of NEUAGE Health Wellness. They've got a location in Ladue. They have one in O'Fallon, Illinois. We're told you've got 1 or 2 coming to the Kansas City area before the end of the year, I guess, and maybe Lake St. Louis.
Yeah, Lake St. Louis is probably going to be not probably, it's going to be the next one. So
excited about that one.
Coming out west. So.
We've talked to Steve and Kathy before about the shots when it comes to, quote, losing weight or helping. If you're there, you're in it every day.
Right.
They've spoken about you being more the expert because you're the hands-on guy. You've devoted your life to this. What kind of information can you give people, again, when it comes to the shots? What kind of expectations? And does it vary from person to person?
It does. Everything we do is a personalized approach. So the struggles that you may have and what's causing that weight to stick to you might be different than somebody else. But I think what you're referring to is semaglutide and all the hype around this particular peptide, therapy. There's a lot of weight loss fads that have come and gone over the years. This is one that oddly was derived from a venom in a lizard, if that makes you feel any better about it. But
wow.
Yeah, it was a diabetic drug. The side effect was people were losing a lot of weight. So now obesity is being reclassified as a disease, and this drug is being made available on the market with certain qualifications. But it is, if you follow our directions and you live a somewhat responsible lifestyle, meaning get out and move your body during the day, eat somewhat responsibly, this treatment has worked on every patient that I've worked with that has just followed the directions. It's a once-a-week injection, subcutaneous, so it's a very small insulin-style shot given in the belly. Very easy to administer yourself, or you can come to the clinic once a week. It's a stair-step dose, so it allows your body to kind of get used to the drug. And right as you kind of maybe are plateauing a little bit, we increase the dose. And that works month over month over month. And we're finding, it's a fun little science project because everybody's bodies respond differently. But we just posted something on our Instagram if you want to check that out. We have a very
Instagram where? What would you look for?
NEUAGE Health Wellness.
Okay, same thing. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, sir. But we have a patient, and she's very public about her success. But she's had 4 kids. They're all football players. If that gives you an idea, she's kind of carries a bigger frame, and she's always been a little insecure about her weight. She started on hormone therapy. We layered in the semaglutide. She's down 52 pounds.
Wow.
Looks phenomenal.
In what time frame, Jason?
So she's been a patient for a year, but she's only been on the weight loss therapy for about 6 months.
Now, is that in combination with working out and a diet as well?
This particular patient, I wouldn't say is a is not in the gym 5-6 days a week. Maybe 2 to 3 days she gets in some kind of, outside of her normal routine activity. She is a responsible eater. So not taking in a lot of sugars or carbs, things of that nature. But for the most part, no, she just kind of keeps an eye on what she's doing, what she's putting in her body, and she tries to move her body at least once.
Are you allowed to say an age? I mean, I know you're not saying a name.
She is 41.
Okay.
She's 41. I have another patient who's a friend from high school just reached out, and him and his wife is a retired Navy officer, and they both started on hormone therapy with us. And the results they're getting, this guy's 42 years old and he's riding in BMX competitions now and sending me, pictures of his medals. And so back to the weight loss, it works. It works for just about every patient. Now, some people will lose 10, 12 pounds in the first month. A cousin of mine, it took her 4 months before she lost her first pound. She's lost 37 pounds since. So it really just depends on where your body's going to respond to the drug.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Talking with Jason Redmond, co-owner of NEUAGE Health and Wellness. I'm curious, and this is something that Sarah said, because maybe I wasn't into the whole food plant-based diet enough, but that, along with regular exercise and reducing stress, is the way to increase your testosterone. I felt like I was doing that before I came into you guys too. And it just, my testosterone was not raising. I was not increasing it. I would think that in combination with shots would help too. What is your advice from that whole question standpoint, in my perspective?
For how to regulate your hormones naturally?
Yeah, naturally. I mean, does it work in combination with shots, or have you seen super success stories just by diet? And
no, because some of it's just genetics. I'm a great example of somebody who was active, played sports my entire life, and for whatever reason, my body just stopped producing testosterone at the level that it needed to. Now, I will tell you, one of the scary things we're seeing right now is a lot of young patients coming in their 20s, and they're seeing depleted testosterone levels.
How the hell does that happen?
All the studies are pointing towards the plastics in the water that we're drinking, the factory farming and taking all the nutrients out of the food, and it's really just driving those natural.
Okay, that makes sense.
That does make sense.
That's scary, though.
It really is. It really is. You see young kids and they're 22, 23, 24, and the same questions I have. What's wrong with me? Why do I feel this way? And some of them may still be in late stages of puberty at that age. 21, you should be out of it, but who knows? And so it's a little frustrating there, but that's why we start with the blood panel. It answers a lot of questions, and I pass that over to the professionals when we get to that point. So,
well, you sound like a professional from that standpoint. Hey, we had another question, and I don't even know if this is something that is in your league or out of it, but I'm trying to go back and find it. Just said, how can you verify privacy of results if you're sending them lab results if they're going out of state?
So the patient would go to the LabCorp facility. They would have their blood drawn there, and then electronically that would dump into our electronic medical records. So that's all HIPAA compliant, will come straight to us.
Correct. Very good.
Okay. So there is no emailing or, passing of data that way. So
I've had a couple people say, okay, if I have to get a shot every week, does that hurt? Because there's people that are scared of needles. But Jamie, who is one of our listeners, has already had her blood panel and had her very first
injection.
Really? Yeah. We had another one already?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A lot of our people are going, or at least getting ready to set up appointments. And she said it was no big deal. It didn't hurt. And I'm one of those people that's squeamish, but not enough that I don't want to go and find out my panels and all of that. She said it's no big deal.
Here's the thing
doesn't
about
even hurt.
Our business model. Needles are not sexy. Doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how you photograph
Needles
them.
are not sexy.
They're not sexy. So, but the misconception is there's two different types of injections that we deal with. An intramuscular, which has to go to the muscle. So deltoid, glute. And then there's subcutaneous injections. So a very, very small, almost like 1/4 inch insulin style needle. And that goes just underneath the skin. So those are administered usually in the belly or the fatty part of the arm. And yes, I mean, anyone can do it to themselves. It's not fun the first time, but once you realize that there is no pain involved with it, it's a very easy thing to administer yourself if you're interested in doing so.
Right. I'm not sure I want to administer myself, but can I have one of my kids or my husband do it?
For sure. Or you can come to the clinic once, whatever's convenient for you. We teach, we have educational videos on our website. We have a lot of different avenues to get comfortable within that.
Makes sense.
We've got to do more coverage of this situation with younger people coming in.
Yes.
Younger with that blows my mind. Is that both? That's not men and women, is it? Because I know women are just realizing that, oh my God, there are situations where we need testosterone.
For sure. Yeah.
And we've talked about it on the show, Success with Kathy, who said that it's been nothing but a godsend for her. And then I'm starting to hear about other women realizing that they need testosterone.
Yeah, we both, I mean, men and women both carry estrogen and testosterone. It's just the levels are flipped, right? We produce and need a lot more testosterone. Women need a very small amount, but what it does to the body is amazing. My wife is one of the best examples. She's 39. She won't like me saying that, but she started on hormone therapy about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And she said it felt like a fog was lifted off of her. She struggled with anxiety.
A beautiful woman. So if she listens, she needs to stop that.
Yeah.
So she makes 39 look like 29. So she needs to stop.
Yeah. And I think that's a great testament to the work she's putting in, but also to the treatment. And that fog, that mental clarity is a piece that I think we get caught up sometimes in the aesthetics of your body, but it's really your mind too, right? I mean, you guys are in here all day. You want to be sharp. You want to be focused. It helps with that mental clarity.
Terry asks, can you ask Jason how much the panel and consultation cost? Some of us need to save for this or may think that they need to save for it.
So when we started NEUAGE, we were working with insurance company, and it was exhausting. It was just, you see the bad, somebody pulls the curtain back and you see kind of the ugly side of insurance. So we went to a cash pay or a customer pay model. And then we worked with our blood lab to drive the most competitive pricing kind of in St. Louis. It's a $150 one-time fee for your blood panel. And that's all inclusive. That's the consultation. That's the meeting with our team. That's everything.
You get a lot for that.
Yes, sir.
That's a good, so hopefully that answers your question from that standpoint.
Yeah.
Eddie says testosterone's been dropping in men for 60 years.
Yeah.
Have you seen that stat? And if so, once again, it just goes to what our environment, it would almost seem to think, and I'm not, you got to get testosterone, you got to do this. But how do you combat what we're dealing with in society? I'm a big believer in the diet, and I've been learning a lot, listening and reading some of Sarah's quotes too about diet. So,
well, if you look at society in a whole, a lot of us are moving a lot less. There's a lot less blue collar workers. People are podcasting, they're behind cameras, they're working from home. So, your body produces and your heart rate actually influences your testosterone production. So when you're a lot more of a stagnant, population, you're going to see these levels fall over time.
Yes. And I even think that in schools, little boys are encouraged to sit in their chair. And this starts very early, preschool, kindergarten, first grade, something like that. They're no longer allowed to wrestle and all that. So, I mean, it's literally coming earlier and earlier. The kids little boys are made to just be complacent.
I remember a question I wanted to ask you from earlier in the show. You said that when you first had your blood work done, you were in your 30s.
I was 38 at the time.
And you had testosterone that was equivalent to a man that would be average in their 70s.
Yes.
Do you remember what that number was for people? Like, is that
so it's
hundreds?
It's a nanogram per deciliter scale. The primary care physicians will tell you that a 400 level is kind of an industry standard for someone at my age. I was a 180.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So bottom of the barrel, and I was basically a walking dead man at that point. And, relatively healthy. It didn't take a whole lot for me to really turn it around. And my weight hasn't changed that much, only about a 5 or 8 pound, but the way that I wear it is completely different now.
It is interesting, some of these things that come up. Another question. If you start, what happens if you stop? And and what advice would you give for people from that standpoint?
So if we're speaking hormones specifically, so weight loss, obviously there's a target, right? There's a I want to get to this weight, and we're gonna talk to you about the healthy, decision of that weight. And then we're gonna taper you off of that drug as you get and help you control the cravings once you come off of the treatment. Hormone therapy is more of a lifelong investment in your health, because what's going to happen is we're going to optimize those levels. We're going to get you feeling 25 again. And then, if you're on it for a couple of years and you choose to come off for whatever reason, your body just kind of slowly reverts back to its natural production. So it's not like you're harming your body. You're not supplementing with the the testosterone or whatever the hormone is that we're working with. And your body's just kind of revert back to its natural level.
We have so many people commenting on here, and I'm going to try to get to their comments because they're going. One of the things that Dawn wanted to know, and Kathy has talked about it before, one of the side effects, and I just want to make that clear, it's really not that big of a one, is that when you take a woman and you take the testosterone, you might get more facial hair, so you may have to get a tweezers. Is that one of the side effects?
Yeah, I mean, hair growth in men and women. I had a patient the other day who gets his shots, alternates in his deltoids. And he said, I feel like I'm getting some hair growth on my, in my shoulders where I hadn't before. So it is kind of an unfortunate side effect. But what I tell patients is there's different ways to address a lot of those side effects. And they're far more easy to kind of rectify than feeling like you're 70 years old.
Right. That makes sense.
So the trade-off usually outweighs the side effect.
I would think so too.
Yeah.
And and Heather on the chat line said where she is at, they have a clinic. I don't know if it's NEUAGE, but when she did it and she tried to use insurance, so just to tell people cash pay is better, it ended up to be more money than cash pay. And I know that from when we were employed at our preschool. At one point we lost our insurance. So it was easier to do cash pay than it was insurance. And often the insurance copay and then the deductible was more anyway. And so what you're telling us is it's probably going to be around $100, $150, that sort of a thing. And I do know that Kathy said if you go in and say that you listen to Cancel This, you'll get a little discount. For sure.
Well, we can let the listeners know if they mention this, they'll get $50 off that blood panel. So it's just a $100 flat fee.
Yes,
absolutely.
They do.
Absolutely.
So it's $150 is what I was told too. But if you go in and mention Cancel This, they'll give you $50 off.
Oh, well, okay. But,
yeah.
Well, Dan, we got to start promoting that as well.
We
have a lot of people.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've had 5 or 6 people in the last couple of weeks who have gone in and done certain things and been promoting it. By the way, if you have any questions, you have any need anything questions answered, you go to NEUAGEHealthWellness.com. NEUAGEHealthWellness.com. healthwellness.com. You're there at the Ladue location a ton, right?
Yeah. I'm the day-to-day ops guy there. So my background is in processes, and that's kind of where my passion lies. I hate that I'm as good at it as I am, but my OCD doesn't let me go any other way. So yeah, I'm there. I'm trying to bring the face and the personality to the business and really make it a doctor's office visit that you can look forward to. You know, that's great. That's the most rewarding part of this career that I didn't really anticipate, was that people are coming through our doors because they want to feel better proactively. You know, it's not a reactive thing necessarily. It's not they're coming in with their arm hanging off. So,
right.
Have you heard people complain about semaglutide, or not complain, but in maybe media stories, situations like that? Because it seems like every time something comes out, it's like, oh, this is good for you. Oh, this is not good. Oh, this is going to cause you to feel better. Oh, this is going to cause cancer. Have you heard some of those stories as well?
Yeah, I think that's around every drug that's on the market, right? There's responsible users, there's proper ways to administer things, and then there's those that kind of go rogue. And what we're seeing right now is chiropractic offices that are offering semaglutide because they carry a nurse practitioner on their staff. They're not doing blood work. They're just administering this drug to patients.
Then how would you know what to give?
100%. And there's contraindications in people's blood work that says this is not the right treatment for you because of these levels. And if you're not paying attention to that, it can be dangerous. You know, you could hurt somebody. So yes, we start with the blood panel with every patient, no exceptions there. And then the question was the side effects. So really, we've heard of things like Ozempic face in the media, and that's where patients are losing so much weight so fast. We try to offset any of that. I mean, a good, I guess weight reduction would be anywhere from like 5 to 10 pounds a month. You know, if you can maintain that kind of pace for a few months, your body will respond accordingly. If you're supplementing your diet with high protein, if you're doing a little bit of resistance training, you didn't get to this point overnight. You're not going to get healthy overnight, and you got to put some work in along with it. The drug, the way I present it to our patients is, if you build the fire, this is the fuel. But you got to build the fire, you got to want to better your body. So yes, you can come in and take the treatment and you will lose weight, but you may carry some loose looking, if you don't offset that with some resistance training and, moving your body actively. But outside of that, the only other negative side effects we've heard is patients that have decided to go cold turkey off of it, and then those cravings come rushing back. So what we've done at our clinic is we've actually put together a maintenance package. So once you've reached your target goal, we slowly start backing you down off the maintenance dose to a lower maintenance dose. And we leave you on that where we find a dose where you're not losing any more weight, but you're also eliminating those cravings.
Real quick, one more question before we let you go today. Sure. What kind of credentials do people who work in your facility have? For example, it's like, oh, Jason sounds great. I mean, he looks the part, he sounds the part. How can we trust that we're being taken care of if we go to NEUAGE?
Yeah, I mean, we are a full-blown doctor's office. We have a medical director who's an MD. We have a nurse practitioner that works with the doctor to put together the treatment plans. We have medical assistants and registered nurses on site. I am the only one in the building non-medical, and I'm the first person to tell you that. So I'm not there to provide medical advice. I'm there to educate you on the treatments that we offer, and then I pass you on to our medical
You're the
staff.
business end that makes the whole operation, and every operation has to have that head person that maybe isn't medical but understands how to run the business end.
Absolutely.
Jason, we appreciate your time. Great segment. This is fun, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I know this was kind of thrown on you, but people like you. Certainly, we have
For
to try to
sure.
get you back, and we're grateful for your time once again. NEUAGEHealthWellness.com, NEUAGEHealthWellness.com. 2 facilities throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area right now. One in Ladue, one in O'Fallon, Illinois, one coming to Lake St. Louis, more coming to the Kansas City area. But once again, if you're out of state, you can still give them a call, correct? And you
Absolutely.
can advise them on how to do that from a telehealth standpoint. Jason, good time, man.
Likewise.
Loved it.
Appreciate you having us.
New
I'm
Age Health
glad you were here.
Wellness.
All right.
And maybe we can have you make some graphics for us too. That one looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, it does. Looks
Happy to
really
help.
good.
All right, Jason, we'll see you later, buddy.
All right,
Take it
thank you, sir.
easy. That was Jason Redmond with NEUAGEHealthWellness.com. Enjoy talking. Love hearing the information that we have. Grateful to get that. And of course, hey, if it's for you, great. If it's not for you, great. If you want to learn more, you just have to give them a call. Check it out. Check out their email. Check out any of the information. They'll set you straight with what's going on from that standpoint. Lizzie's going to keep us posted on what she has going on. I can
Absolutely.
speak personally. It works amazing for me.
Yes. And I'm so excited because I've never had anything like this done. I've always been kind of afraid of needles, and I've had some health problems when I had a stroke back 15 years ago. And so I just have kind of stayed away from a doctor. I have had blood panels though, but they don't really do anything. They'll just say something about potassium or vitamin D. I want the whole thing because I want to know what in the world's going on.
And you just have to go and see what works with each body. For me
Yes.
as a man, when I started taking the testosterone with my diet and very high protein, I mean, I was getting like in incredible shape. I was like, I'm getting like too big, like my muscles,
You were getting some big old.
my arms and chest. And I was like, okay, it's not fat. It's like muscle. And I'm like, is this what I'm supposed to happen? And then yeah. And they're like, well, we're not used to guys not wanting to get
right.
bigger or
Yeah.
more. I was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, I got to fit in suits.
You got to fit in your suit. You don't want new
Suits
clothes.
are damn expensive.
And for me, I just want energy and maybe to lose a little bit of weight.
But I
I
sleep better when I'm doing it. I sleep better. There's
Yeah.
energy throughout the day. There's no doubt about it. But for me, I just needed to eat a little leaner,
Makes sense.
as Jason was talking about, to help me not get as big. And when I started eating leaner, it worked for me. But once again, whether you're working out or not, if you're drinking alcohol, it can be a massive issue.
Yeah, that you can gain weight really fast if you drink a bunch of alcohol. I mean, every once in a while, to have a blue moon or
But-
whatever. But if you, yeah,
I want to get more into that situation with young guys in their 20s losing
yes,
testosterone. That
yes,
out of everything Jason said, that hit me the hardest when I was like, oh my God, because I already know we're going to do a Friday segment on water.
that.
On water. I brought water up
yes,
and the fluoride and what's happening with our water and studies that
absolutely.
have been done with frogs where male frogs lost
Yes.
all their testosterone from drinking our drinking water because it's gotten so bad. So bad. It's finding good water is not it's not a privilege anymore where it's like, oh, this is some sort of elitist thing to do. It's a healthy thing to do.
Yes,
And when
it
you start
is.
looking at what's going on with our water, it'll blow your mind. Mary says, my drinking water in St. Charles has been smelling more like chlorine
Yeah.
lately. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
it does. It does. Your water comes out, and I just tell my kids not even to drink the water. Take your bath and all that kind of stuff. But I think
Whole foods are always better. Stop eating food out of a box. I
Yes.
agree, Paula, if at all possible.
I'm guilty.
So anyway, providing good. Terry says the semaglutides are also proving good to decrease stroke and CV disease. Interesting. I didn't know that as well. This is cancelthisshow.com. We appreciate the live interaction that you guys provide on the podcast. Also grateful for New Age Health and Wellness. And of course, if you have any real estate questions, as always, 314-276-SOLD, 314-276-SOLD. Give Kathy and her team a call over there, and they'll take care of you from that standpoint. Coming up at 9:30, Emily Williams with Greenlight Dispensary about their underground sale that's coming up. Look forward to that in our Weed Wednesday segment. But we've also got stories going on. And I mean, it seems like something every day with the Bidens are breaking. And you know what happens when the Biden stories break? The next day or 2 days later, indictments come against Trump. That's how Jack Smith works. That's been his motive all along. Do whatever he can so that Donald Trump cannot run for president, to do whatever they can. But Anyway, in the meantime, once again, nobody's promoting Joe Biden. The only thing we hear are people discrediting Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's promoting, hey, this is going to be a good president. Think about that.
Right. They
Because
don't.
Democrats know that they can't. And it's a sad deal. And then, of course, the Secret Service pushed the cocaine story under the rug. And then Jesse Waters, word broke yesterday. Here it is. Word broke yesterday that but here it is regarding the cocaine, and then we'll talk about it.
Fox News alert, a major update in the White House cocaine scandal. According to a report cited by the New York Post, a source close to the White House says Joe Biden knows exactly who left the bag of cocaine in the White House. And it's someone in the Biden family orbit. But this source says it wasn't Hunter's. Now, we haven't verified the report, but if this is true, it adds another layer to the cover-up. Fox News alert, a major
who is
update.
the Biden family orbit?
Right. Who is that?
Is that? We need to do another poll.
Right. Who
Let's
is
just
the
cancel
orbit?
this polling with a plus or minus error of 3%. It's if you looked at the way people act and talk, it's Kamala. Right. Because she's lost.
She is.
She's as lost as Biden. She's not dumb and stupid like Biden shows us. She's just saying, she says shit that doesn't
even make sense.
And you know what I'm saying. And then if we do this, we got to do that. And
then we got to do this. And then we got to go back around to the first. And then we got to
my bet's Kamala.
That's my bet too.
It was Kamala's bag. It fell out of her purse or whatever else. It fell on the ground. And I told you guys before it wasn't Hunter because Hunter ain't letting no coke by his nose. There ain't no way in hell. And it's not his bag if it's a full bag. That's a fact.
Right.
So I was right. And today I accept all praise because I...
okay. Well, we'll give you that one. We'll give you that one.
I've known people like Hunter.
Right, because I thought it was Hunter for sure.
They don't let their stuff go.
That makes sense.
Oh, Cocaine Cammy.
Yeah, Cocaine Cammy. You've been saying that from the beginning. It was Cocaine Cammy. And now I think I agree with you about that. I thought for sure it was Hunter's.
Well, is KJP.
Mm-hmm.
Karine. Is it hers? White House press secretary.
It could be hers too, because she's kind of wackadoo. When
I looked up. I couldn't find any Vegas odds on this yet, but
right.
I'd like to see some Vegas odds. Those are my first two, and then I put my own odds. My third in line would be Merrick Garland.
Oh wow, you have three really good ones.
But I'm trying to think of the Biden family orbit. Who would that consist of?
Now, if you're on cocaine, can you make eye contact? Because Cammy cannot make eye contact, but
it's because they say she's stoned.
Oh, okay.
She's high.
She's high.
She's not cracked out, coked out. And there's a difference.
Because Jean Pierre, whatever her name is, she can look you right in the eyes and lie. Right in the eye. She can look right at a reporter and lie. So I don't know if you can do that on cocaine. Maybe you can. I don't know.
We need it. Yeah.
We need a cocaine expert. Anybody a cocaine expert here?
A call to cokeheads. Please help us out on Cancel This. The Cancel This Cokehead segment brought to you by the White House, where you can bring coke into the White House and the Secret Service will sweep it under the rug. Karen says she agrees with me. Vic, I agree with you. It was the VP. Greg says, well, we know it wasn't Mitch's. That's a fact. He may need some. I think there's some en route to his office in D.C. to help that, or that might put him over the top.
Biden himself might benefit from some as well.
Well, Biden.
I've heard that.
Well, which once again, Biden and Biden too, we have that going on.
Well, maybe it's one of the Bidens.
I want freaking odds on whose coke it was. And the fact that this is now, quote, being released, now we want to know more.
Yeah, for sure.
The story was kind of going away.
Yeah.
Biden allegedly knows who it is. It's in his family orbit. The family orbit. I'm assuming what they're trying to say is his administration's orbit. I mean, but who else is around him all the time? I would say KJP.
Maybe it's Jill's. I mean, she kind of walks and her head kind of goes like this. Maybe it's Jill.
To deal with him.
Yeah.
In that whole situation.
You'd have to be drugged up to deal with it.
I didn't think her, but she's never.
I don't know. Look how she walks and stuff.
No, I think it's Kamala.
Well, Kamala's on something.
Yeah, I think
sure.
she's doing it all. Discussions while stoned on marijuana. That's what she acts like. Yeah, no doubt about it. And of course, they're never going to let it out of the bag. That was funny. Whether you meant that to be funny or not, I took it as being funny, Jay. That's for sure. But once again, another embarrassment for this Biden administration, the worst administration that this country has ever seen, unfortunately. But oh no, as if that wasn't a big enough story, Joe Biden had to outdo himself again yesterday. It's bad enough that this guy won't do sit-down interviews. He won't do one-on-one interviews. He won't do interviews without questions being asked. The last one he did, I think, was back in July, like July 1st. And that was a joke interview as well. So the next one-on-one, like stand-up / sit-down interview that he did was one that was released yesterday with the Weather Channel.
The Weather Channel.
Real hard-hitting. The Weather Channel. So he does a presser. And he's talking, and of course, it was all about climate change. So he uses the Grand Canyon as the backdrop. And did you know that there's 9 wonders in the world now? There's 9. Mm-hmm. Listen to how he, and it's funny because I think somebody was giving him cue cards at the end when he tries to correct himself. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, the president you did not vote for, Joe Biden. Oh, okay. Well, we're going to have it back up. Anyway, Paula says, look at Jill's clothes.
Yeah, because
I don't know what that means.
Well, it refers to she's probably the one on drugs because anybody that would wear clothes like that, you have to be coked out or stoned.
Yeah, Jessica says 10 wonders. Biden is the 10th wonder.
That's good, Jessica.
Yeah, well, Joe Biden is kind of putting all of his own wonders together. It just because he can't do press conferences. We're not trying to pile on. We're being legitimate. We're being honest. We're showing true circumstances, true situations that have happened. And Joe Biden in front of a mic. And once again, this isn't even the real Joe Biden.
No,
this is Joe Biden too. Once again, you have to continue to look at the pictures of him from when he was vice president. Now it is a different person
for sure.
You would think that the second person would at least have somewhat decent intelligence. This guy doesn't.
None.
But folks, it's not hyperbole to suggest that there is no national treasure, none that is grander than the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon, one of the Earth's 9 wonders, wonders of the world.
It is?
Literally.
Literally.
No, it's amazing. Enduring symbol of America to the entire world. The first time I saw the Grand Canyon years ago,
Joe,
I was a young senator.
Slipping 7 wonders of the world.
A phrase came to mind. It was instinctive. I said, "This is God's cathedral." That's what it reminded me of. It just is so magnificent. As a matter of fact, I said 9. It's one of the 7 wonders of the world.
Okay, I've got a question. Do presidents actually wear sunglasses? I don't remember that.
Yeah, they will.
They do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's always worn sunglasses because he has to cover up the mask and the face thing.
Oh, absolutely. That's what my point
because
I was getting
once
at.
Again, I mean, Paul says, what a douche. I can't disagree. I'm sorry.
He's right.
Tara says embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I think he shat himself.
He probably did. And Mary's saying a cataract, possibly.
There's so much bad going on in this country.
Really
and
is.
It starts with him. And the problem is the fact of the games that are being played with America. And you're not a conspiracy theorist.
No.
It's not the same Biden.
No.
The first Biden may be long gone by now. Who knows? But that is not the same person.
Correct.
Not even close. And it may be dumber than the first.
Right. And, Tara's making a point that she says Barack must cringe at the puppet. And that's my initial reaction, too, that he's got to be cringe. But I almost think he likes it like this because he can control him and it makes him look even that much better as the last Democrat president, was nice looking and talked all smooth. And Joe just looks dumb. And you would think he would cringe, but I think he's still talking in his ear.
No, somebody said something to him.
Oh, for sure.
He has an earpiece.
Yes, he does have an earpiece. You can see it.
Or somebody put up a card. Something happened. He did not just all of a sudden do that. His voice isn't even the same voice.
Correct.
That it was before. I mean, they need to hire the crew from Mission Impossible. They will do the voice activation to make it like old Biden really good and make him a better mask. Because right now, as Mary says, he's dumb. And it's unfortunate that this continues to happen in this country, that he's that bad.
It really is.
While we're talking about Biden, we have to, this was sent to me. I don't know if he's smart enough to be a Hitler, but look at the picture. Look at the comparisons. We'll show you this picture of Joe Biden and Hitler from their speeches. I mean, look at that.
Oh my gosh. I've seen that before.
For our listeners on the podcast, we're showing a picture of a Joe Biden with his right hand and his fist pumped, with his mouth and face in the identical image of Hitler. And they look identical to one another, their poses, 100%. Clearly, their faces don't, but their mouth expression, yelling, screaming, got their mouth open with a fist clenched. And it's a little scary to look at that. But once again, it reminded me when I saw that and was sent to me, I was like, yeah, I see the similarities between Biden and Hitler minus the brain power that's going on from that standpoint. So
they kind of have the same ear shape too.
They do. And you wonder if he had an earpiece back then,
I don't know if that's Biden 1 or Biden 2, though, the picture that we're showing. I'm being dead serious.
I know.
It's not the same guy from the different guys show up. That guy walked off stage yesterday. I don't even know if the real Biden's alive. And if he is, there's two Bidens.
Yes.
Maybe there's just two guys that I see out being Joe Biden.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, absolutely. And we absolutely know that he is often in front of a set as opposed to being in the White House. I'm not saying he's never been there.
It's a fact.
But it is a fact. And I don't recall, does anyone else on the chat line recall any other president always standing in front of a set? I don't recall that. But he's always in front of a set. I shouldn't say always, but often.
Aaron says, hey, if you guys really want to be pissed off, listen to yesterday's testimony of the Gold Star families of the 13 men killed in Afghanistan. We have covered that story extensively here, as we have with Mark Schmitz. His son, Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz, was one of the 13 Marines killed. We've covered it, and we continue to cover it. No new news has come out, but I did hear just a quick update since you brought it up. Every family says they've been lied to. Loved ones were told that they actually died from explosion impact, where then they found out stories where they didn't. They were actually alive after and being driven to alleged hospitals and talking. And then all of a sudden they're dead now. And it's like, and then when you can't get answers, you know how it is in your personal life. If you're not getting answers, you know, in your stomach, you have a feeling, okay, something's not right.
Correct.
You may not want to admit it. You may not have gone through that before, but you know if there are red flags that are waving.
You know. And
every one of these families, every one of them are like, we've all gotten the same lies, the same misinformation, and almost as if we're being stonewalled, not being helped out. And of course, they made matters worse when they were all on the tarmac together with President Biden.
Yes.
Instead of showing respect, he was looking at his watch like, when can I get out of here? That sort of thing. So yeah, just to address you on that, Aaron, saw that. Anyway, guys, we appreciate, still to come here, Emily Williams with Greenlight, 9:30. Josh Hawley questioning. He's calling out former FBI employee who's up for judicial nominee. It's a massive job. Just wait till you see some of what Josh Hawley was trying to do. And this is what's going on in our country. And until people stand up and hold the leaders accountable and try to get in, let's just say legitimate politicians, some of this stuff, I don't know if it's ever going to change. A massive development in Louisiana public schools with something regarding God. And did you know that over 900 schools are now going to 4-day-a-week school weeks?
Yes.
Is that good or bad coming out of COVID? We're going to get into all this coming up. But we do say thank you to Complete Auto Body Repair, Curtis Sparks and crew, for being show sponsor. 7 climate-controlled facilities throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. They're looking for technicians. You can go to Complete AB. Let them know you heard about them from canceltheshow.com. If you give them a call, you can go to our website as well at canceltheshow.com. Complete Auto Body Repair. terrific place to work. You're not going to make any more money in those fields. They're also looking for snipers. I was reading that, looking for salespeople as well. Aaron says the sniper that had his right arm blown off said that Joe tried to shake his non-existent hand.
What a jerk.
Well, I don't even know if it was him being a jerk. He just doesn't know where he is or what to do, and that's why he shouldn't be in the office that he is. Strategic Air Services, of course, when it comes to luxury flying and private flying, no better place than Strategic Air Services. Kevin Malutnik's the guy to give a call to. You can learn more about Strategic Air Services at cancelthisshow.com. We've talked about Experience Realty. Kathy Strick, 314-276-SOLD. 314-276-SOLD. You're not going to find a better real estate agent with more years of experience to help you learn how to handle the ever-changing real estate market right now. It's not an easy one. So many people go at it alone or go to the wrong person or go to people without experience, and then they find problems. Then they're losing money, and then they're like, oh, no, we got to start the whole process over. Don't become that person. Vehicle Protection Group is looking for 2 inbound salespeople desperately right now. Their top people are making 6 figures a year. Email Todd at vpcnetwork.com. Todd at vpcnetwork.com. It doesn't hurt to give them an email just to see what's going on. Greenlight Dispensary, we've got them on today, coming up at 9:30. If you want to, you can pull up Greenlight Dispensary's coupon on our website, cancelthisshow.com. They'll take care of you. With a coupon, you can take it into any of their locations as they continue to grow, and you'll get a discount. Also, Rockwood Charcoal, Jonathan Heslop and crew, national brand, arguably the best charcoal you're going to find in America, made in the Show Me State, where the best charcoal is made because of the trees that we have here. And of course, as Jonathan tells us, you know it's the best charcoal when it breaks apart in your hand. There's no fillers that can be dangerous for you and also make your food not taste as well. So thank you to all of our sponsors and our partners, and we're always looking for more. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks. We've also got Projo in the house as well. Okay, I want to start with Josh Hawley because this guy, he is Hall of Fame already to me when it comes to questioning. He has found his role as a United States Senator, whether you like him, like the way he looks, likes the way he comes across. I'm just telling you, the guy has been absolutely amazing when it comes to factual evidence and questioning, which is what a lot of the senators do. You may question some of his deals in the past, but there's no, I don't know if there's a better Republican at questioning than Josh Hawley. Of course,
he's the best at it.
He's an attorney. He trained Attorney General Andrew Bailey. He was his teacher, his professor at the University of Missouri Law School, another terrific law school. And he is just phenomenal. Joe, what were you going to say about Josh Hawley?
I was just going to say I'm a real fan, and I think Hawley for president.
Oh, that's a statement. And you know, I could
Did you hit a Greenlight gummy?
Whoa!
Not at all. I just like the way the guy talks, and he definitely he's not afraid to say what he wants.
That is a bold statement.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not. And of course, he had a lot of bad press put on him from January 6th, where there's video of him and then it's mismanaged and said he was doing this when he wasn't, when he was actually acting as a hero, making sure he was the last guy to leave to make sure everybody else was gone. And then, of course, there's the infamous video of him running through the Capitol. It wasn't because he was afraid. It was because he stayed last to make sure things were taken care of. Well, just listen to Josh Hawley as he grills, and I mean absolutely eviscerates, a former FBI employee who's up for judicial nominee. That's a big job, being a judicial nominee. Watch what this guy tries to do. This kind of answering is going on more and more than what we've ever seen in Congress before. And you have to have people like Josh Hawley and other politicians who aren't going to sit back and just, okay, all right, well, if that's how you're going to handle this thing, then I'm stuck doing this. Just watch Josh Hawley.
If you participated in any meetings at all related to the Hunter Biden laptop, was that a yes or a no?
Senator, as a Department of Justice employee bound by Section 1-7 of the Justice Manual, as well as a judicial nominee, it's not appropriate for me, and I'm bound not to talk about.
Why isn't it appropriate for you? As a judicial nominee? This has anything to do with any case that you have, right? I'm asking you what you did in your former employment as the Deputy Chief of Staff to the FBI Director. Did you participate in any meetings related to the Hunter Biden laptop?
Senator, again, as a Department of Justice employee.
It sounds like you're not going to answer me. Is this going to be a I'm not going to answer you type deal?
Senator, I'm bound to follow the Code of Judicial Conduct.
The Code of Judicial Conduct doesn't have any bearing on this question whatsoever. What possible bearing could it have? That's a question mark.
Well, Senator, as the Code of Judicial Conduct requires integrity and independence in the judiciary, it requires judicial officers to act with...
It's not a get out of jail free card when you don't want to answer questions when you're under oath before a committee who's considering you for a lifetime appointment to the federal bench. I'm going to try one last time. Did you participate in any meetings during your time as Deputy Chief of Staff or Acting Chief of Staff related to the Hunter Biden laptop, yes or no?
Senator, again, I'm not permitted to answer.
Oh, you are permitted to answer. You don't want to answer because it would be inconvenient for you. And I have to tell you, I find that extremely troubling, Mr. Long, extremely troubling. Not a good start.
No way in hell Mr. Long should be given any judicial appointment when he, I'm not allowed to do that. I'm going to sit here and not say anything. Josh Hawley eviscerates, disarms him.
Yes.
And I don't care who you are, but if you're going up and you're going to be answering questions from Josh Hawley, you better have your shit straight or you're going to be embarrassed if you're not telling the truth.
This is why I like him so much.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be that. Answer the freaking questions.
Yeah, but
they refuse.
He makes so many people just squirm in their seats, and it's great. And the more I see him, the more I like him. I mean, he's just killing it.
The only bad things I've heard is he just kind of comes off as highbrow. Like, but I mean, that's when we're really getting down in the weeds looking for something. The guy cares about America, clearly.
Yes, he does.
He cares about the state of Missouri. He does. I mean, you can look at voting. I know people have some issues with some of the votes, but at the same point in time, as a senator, this is what you do. You're not the president.
Correct.
He's not the governor of the state of Missouri, so he can't change things here. Mm-hmm. His job is to do exactly what he is doing.
Yes. Yes. And like Annette says, he really does uncover the liars. So he does that better than anyone. It makes them squirm in their seat and all of that. And really the only thing people can say bad about Josh Hawley, and I was one of them, wasn't that I hated him. It was something I didn't understand. When he was running originally, with everyone else, he didn't show up to the debates. So, of course, I thought there was election fraud there. That was just me assuming along with everyone else, but that's not the case. What I learned in the state of Missouri, in many states, he was already elected because we have a Missouri caucus. So a lot of these primaries are just an illusion of being able to pick the candidate for the Republican Party. So I was mad at him for something that I should never have been mad at him about. He was already elected, and I just didn't understand all that back then.
JD says, I hate these hearings because nobody ever answers. I see it too. But the problem with that, you may not want to answer and you may not have to, but they still vote. They vote at the end of these hearings on whatever the case may be. And there are times when, these guys don't get the appointments or the women don't get the appointments because of their lack of answering, because senators like Josh Hawley will force them to expose the truth. That's what can happen. And then, of course, you see that go. And then Troy Turner says Trump could take him as the next VP. Oh, that would be interesting.
Wouldn't that be great?
I do. Hawley is a Trump fan.
Yeah, he is. He loves Donald Trump.
I have seen that. Linda says, I've always loved Hawley as a United States senator. All of us are upset over the election stuff, clearly. Aaron says the only criticism I've ever heard of him is butthurt radio personalities that didn't get an interview and St. Louis City leftists that hate all the conservatives.
That is totally true. That's usually why people don't like him, is because they're butthurt. And he just doesn't do any of these interviews except for on like a national level. Why? He's just so freaking busy. I mean, he lives here, but has a place there, and he goes back and forth. And most people who don't like him are just butthurt. I agree. And I was one of those butthurt people a while back when I didn't understand how he was elected.
Jay says, Illinois will trade you senators if we could.
Oh, I bet, Jay. Oh, I bet. Yeah.
So I wanted to bring that out there again, because when that hearing was just taking place, it's like, man, people need to see what the hell is going on and how Josh Hawley is trying to help and doing a job in DC. I'm Vic Faust. Lizzie Sparks is here. Pro Joe. This is cancelthisshow.com. Please like, subscribe, share the show. Check out all the platforms. Give us a thumbs up on there, whatever. It helps with how those situations work when it comes to our platforms, making sure that we're getting to as many people as we possibly can. Check out our reels. Those are great to send to people as well. You can go to Instagram, Cancel This Live. We have them there. We have them on Facebook as well, but the Instagram ones are really good. Follow us there. On TikTok, we're starting to grow there as well, as we put those reels. Just they're reels, they're shorts, 30 seconds, 45 seconds of certain parts of the show that really help give people a vibe, a flavor of what we're doing. Damn, Robert, you bring up another damn good point. I happened to look down.
Robert.
Senators should represent the state.
Correct. They should. But they often don't or can't.
I like the idea. It's not going to happen, but just because of how our political system's set up, but I would certainly love to see that. No doubt about that. And once again, if you check out the websites, you can watch us there as well. Make sure you're getting involved as much as you can. We are going to have more things coming up when it comes to our merchandise and newsletters. So we're grateful, trying to make this a great one-stop shop experience for you. Okay, in the world of schools, I found this interesting, especially in the year 2023. And some people it may piss off, and some people may like it. I liked it just because of where I come from, and to see, we took God out of schools, and then we're forced to put, metal detectors in many of them.
Right.
So drugs being sold in schools, it's almost, we took God out and all this bad stuff happened. Well, public schools in Louisiana are now required to display the motto, "In God We Trust," in all classrooms.
Amen.
I mean, this shocked me that this was actually passed through. Now, the law known as HB8 or HBB, excuse me, it was signed by the governor. This happened back in June. I didn't even know, but it went into effect just a couple days ago. And it was also authorized by the representative of the two representatives in the state. So each classroom in Louisiana, public schools, are required to have the motto at minimum displayed on a poster or frame document that is at least 11 inches by 14 inches.
Beautiful. Love it.
The motto shall be central focused, or the poster or frame document shall be printed in a large, easy to read font. And that's according to this new bill, HB8 Act 264. I was shocked to see this, but it's elementary, secondary, and post-secondary schools all required to have the motto in each classroom.
I love that. I know that they will have haters then will come at them, because I know in our local area in Wentzville, the mayor there put it on the police cars and in the city hall, and very liberal organizations, not even from St. Charles County, came over and fought. So they'll get some opposition, but in the end, when they win that, it is just a beautiful, beautiful thing and a reminder of how our country started.
Well, yeah, and that's a good point when you bring up history from that standpoint, Lizzie. I mean, it's been our national motto.
Yes.
Literally, it's been our national motto since 1956.
Absolutely.
And that's when the 84th Congress passed a joint resolution without any debate. I repeat, without any debate.
Correct.
And it was signed by President Eisenhower. Previously a 2018 law was put in place requiring each Louisiana school to have "In God We Trust" displayed somewhere in the building, but now in the classrooms.
Love it.
It's interesting because Senator Regina Barrow, in 2018, she brought it forward. This was a Democrat in 2018 who told the USA Today network that, quote, they were not pushing God on anybody. We're just incorporating it as part of the history of our nation.
Yes.
This
Yes.
was a Democrat in 2018. I know times have changed in the last 5 to 6 years, but she says, quote, it's our national motto, for goodness sakes.
Well, and Democrats,
it's good enough to be on our money. It's good enough to be in our schools.
100%. And it used to be when an American flag flew, you didn't know if it was Republican or Democrat. It was just somebody that loves America. Now, when you see an American flag flying, you can almost rest assured it's somebody right of center, for sure. And that's a shame. It shouldn't be that way. Everybody should love America. If you live in America, if not, you have choices of other places to go. And why don't you just take your little happy ass there?
So as the kids start school, it's going to be placed somewhere in the classroom. I pray to God that a rainbow flag is not placed over it, but you may have one.
Somebody will do it. Somebody will do it.
Have one right next to it. But regardless of what people are supporting, to have that, I find it fascinating. Why can't something like that be done in every state?
I agree.
I know it would never happen in California, and I know it would happen in most Northeast states because of how liberal they are. And that's not a dig on liberals. It's just liberal states don't seem to be pushing anything with faith. Why not in Missouri?
Right.
Why not in other states around the Midwest? Why not in Florida? Why not in Texas? Why not in these states where there's red governors, so to speak?
Absolutely. It should be in every school system, and every school system should have the Pledge of Allegiance back there, whether you're public, private. It's our history. It's who we are. And that's what we should be doing. Now, I'm not saying we need to bring religion or even the Bible back to public schools, because I don't want all the liberal indoctrination interpreting the Bible. But we should at least have the Pledge of Allegiance and "In God We Trust" in every single school in America.
I agree. Once again, there's other information regarding schools, and on the heels of that story, which I find fascinating. I had no idea that about 900 school districts in the United States right now use a 4-day weekly academic schedule. You didn't know that.
I did, because you said it earlier in the day. So I'm saying,
today. All right.
Yeah, agreeing with what I heard.
It rose.
Because I didn't know before today.
It rose from 650 school districts in 2020, COVID, to 876 districts across 26 states to where it is now as the school year starts.
Is it for economy reasons?
I don't know. I don't think it's a great idea. And I heard some politicians talking about this, that we're so far behind post-COVID that one less day of kids in school is not a good idea. In Kansas, there's a couple school districts where they've added like 36 minutes extra for each 4 days. But I'm like 36 times 4, and that's going to make up for a fifth day. I don't think about that. And then I started thinking about, what about families who have dealt with kids when you've got working parents, or you're a single parent or two working parents?
Right.
How the hell do you manage that? Because I've lived that life and it is not easy.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, it rather sucks.
And that Friday, they'll have to get childcare, and younger kids. I think if they're younger, maybe, and I don't know if you can do it two different ways, elementary school, that might not be a bad idea. Maybe. But then you have a childcare problem. But once you get into junior high and high school, I'm so not for it due to athletics. The kids have sporting events often on a Friday. And if that's the day they pick to be off, what do? Stay home all day and then come for practice and then come for, what do they do?
From the comment line on this live podcast at canceltheshow.com, one of our viewers says they claim it saves money.
That's the only reason I've heard, is that there was money saved, because they were milling it around in Warrenton in this area, and they were milling it around some years ago in Francis Howell, and these are school districts in Middle America, and it was always about cost, the cost of the buses running one less day is what I heard, and the electricity and all of that. Teachers were going to get paid the same, and staff, but it boiled down to those mechanical things.
Paul said in the St. Louis area, call Warrenton School District. They were entertaining the idea. Their school districts, like I said, 26 different states that have the 4-day-a-week school district. I mean...
And Terry's right. They have a teacher shortage right now. I saw on a school district the other day, right on their little billboard out front that flashes what they're doing, and said, come join our team. We need teachers, right on the school district's property. I've never seen that before.
Also designed to attract teachers. I'm not sure how, I guess, in regards to teachers saying, we only have to work 4 days a week.
Could be.
So we get a fifth day because like police, which are in dire need, and we don't have enough police, teachers, the teaching career is starting to take a hit as well, or has been taking a hit.
For sure.
Public school districts waste so much money.
They do.
And my kids went to a private elementary school and they went by hours.
That's interesting. Well, and where Bindi was saying that there's so much money wasted, they're so top heavy. And this is no dissing principals or superintendents or any of that. There's so many chiefs making so much money that the teachers make less. And if you're an educator and you've been a principal and you retire, you still get like 80 to 90% of that money. And so you go there, and if there's discipline problems, the principals who are the ones getting paid the big bucks don't even want to deal with it anymore because they're backlash of the parents. And so then the teachers aren't paid enough to deal with the bull crap anymore. I was a public school teacher for a while, and I wouldn't go and do it I mean, you could offer me so much money and I wouldn't go back now. You're not backed by the administration anymore because they're afraid of getting sued, and they're afraid of parents coming in and screaming at them. So teachers have to deal with so much these days that they're not even compensated in any way. And often the school districts are now saying they don't have enough money, and they're not given any money to buy supplies in their classrooms. So it's just a thankless job. You have to really, really love children for the sake of children. But in most cases, you can go teach in a private school and get almost as much. And so it's not worth it to people anymore.
Jay says that his school district supervisor is paid almost double that other supervisors in similar sized districts are paid. It's been a huge bone of contention, but that happens with every school district. You say that you need somebody, you need to pay for quality, you need to pay for somebody who has lots of experience, and that it can help. And I've seen that work in positive nature, especially with police chiefs, and I've seen it work negatively where somebody comes in overhyped and gets an overpaid check and then under delivers. So those things can go either way. That's why you have to have good people making decisions when it comes to pushing the money out. There's no doubt about that.
Correct.
Just wanted to give you the school district aspect of what we had going on there. Also, another big story that has hit. Okay, we talked about it. The Anheuser-Busch story will not go away. It continues to be a massive problem. We've got a situation now where Anheuser-Busch, go figure, has now sold 8 of its brands because they lost $27 billion since the Dylan Mulvaney debacle. Anheuser-Busch can't sell its product. They had to pay back distributors money to try to help them. They've had to lay off employees because they refuse to apologize. Remember, they made the mistake, but they doubled down, they tripled down, they quadrupled down on it. And we're like, we're going to be defiant. Screw all of our customers. You deserve it. You need to come back. So they blew up Bud Light. They've blown up their company. Anheuser-Busch is taking hits from former family members who owned the company at one point in time. Now you have a situation where they're selling 8 brands. So they're selling 8 brands, which include Shock Top, Breckenridge Brewery, Blue Point Brewery Company, 10 Barrel Brewing Company, Red Hook Brewing Company. Some of those I've never even heard of, but they are specialized beers. Widmer Brothers Brewing, Square Meyer Cider Company, and Highball Energy to Canadian cannabis company Tilray. Once again, the once great American company, they went woke, they went broke, they've been put good night, and they refused to apologize. They doubled down on it. They've continued to lose their business, and now this is what you have left. Anheuser-Busch, or as Aaron calls them, Tranheiser, messed up big time when they hired a New York City marketing firm.
Absolutely. And even if they don't apologize, I think most people do want an apology, but even if they don't apologize, sometimes apologies are way overrated. Just, come back out and say, this is what we did. We realize you guys didn't like it. And so you are our consumers. So this is what we're going to do from here. They don't even have to say the word, I'm sorry. They just have to acknowledge we as the consumer didn't like it.
Well, that was NBEV. Once again, NBEV did. Yeah, I get it. But it was Anheuser-Busch. I get it, Derek. Derek likes his Busch Light. I'm sorry, Derek. I know you love that Busch Light stuff. I wouldn't touch it, but that is what it is. And we brought up Billy Bush yesterday because he did a Friday interview with TMZ. I couldn't find him. I was trying. I failed. Fox News got him on yesterday. So I was trying. And he said the same things to Fox News that he did to TMZ, just about how embarrassing it is.
Yes.
How he doesn't think it's over. They've destroyed the brand.
Yes.
Somebody said, hey, maybe they would sell it back. Sell it back to the Bush family. I don't know if the Bush family would want that back now.
I know they're getting.
I mean, you want to buy low. I get that.
Yes. I know that Billy Bush is wanting to. He's doing a brewery somewhere in western St. Charles County, and it's going to be a small microbrewery. However, I don't know. I would love it if they would buy the brand back. I would love it. It would be great. I think I would go back to buying Shock Top and Bud Light and all of that. But right now, I mean, I'm not a huge boycotter, but this is just one. We're just not buying their products anymore.
Donna thinks it's going to eventually hurt the economy. I don't know how. I don't see how. You're certainly entitled to your opinion. It certainly hurt Bud Light. Now you have, and we know it's doing well, cannabis companies. Cannabis company purchased a couple of those brands. And, it really puts things in perspective about what can happen when it comes to, unfortunately, you make decisions and, whether they're good, whether they're bad. This one has proven to be bad because of what we're seeing now happen with the sales or lack thereof. One company that's trending upward, and we're grateful for that, are our good friends at Greenlight. Emily Williams, she is a general manager. Emily, good morning. Glad to have you on our show for our Weed Wednesday segment. You guys continue to rock and roll over at Greenlight. No Bud Light issues over there, right?
No issues over here. We're good to go. We're cruising along, having a great time.
Yeah, I want your owners to buy Bud Light, make it a comeback, pop it in with Greenlight. We saw some cannabis companies buying some of AB's brands. Clearly, that's not cheap. So we know that you guys are doing well and the cannabis industry is as well. We wanted to have you on, first of all, to talk about, you got the underground coming up. Can you remind everybody what that is and all the details surrounding it and how it can benefit people?
Absolutely. So we have our underground event this weekend at the Ferguson location. We have this once a month. It's the second weekend of every month, Friday and Saturday from 12 to 8. And basically what it is we like to refer to it as like a cannabis farmers market concept. So basically we have a big space in the back that we open up and you guys get to go back and deal directly with the vendors that we purchase with. And the whole deal with it is that it is all a lot cheaper than it would be out on our sales floor. So you're getting the best deals for the week. You're good to go. So like I said, that's this weekend, Friday and Saturday at the Ferguson location on South Florissant Road from 12 to 8. And we have a lot of great vendors coming in.
How packed do they get? I mean, that's a long period, an 8-hour session. I'm just curious.
So we have our spurts. So a lot of people like getting here right at opening. So we do have, a lot of people here right at opening, and then, we kind of die down and it kind of spurts. It varies each month for sure. It's not the same.
Can you remind people which location you're at right now and what seems to be popular?
Yeah, so I'm at the Ferguson location. So that's right in downtown Ferguson, 517 South Florissant Road. And we're currently intaking a lot of new products here for the underground. I have a few things here that I could show you, some new things we haven't had on our shelves. But
please do. Yeah, Emily, we love it when you do this because you're an awesome product ambassador.
I love it. I love speaking about the product. Education is a very is key here, So that's what we're all about.
So what do you have to show us today?
So today I have some new chocolates we have in. It's called Plain Jane. It's a milk chocolate bar. It's 100 milligrams for the whole bar. It's broken down into 10 different squares. So basically you could break off it's just like a Hershey's bar. When you open it up, it's all, indented. You could break it off right at whatever dose you'd like. So this is a newer brand that we're just putting on our shelves. It's called Plain Jane.
But 10 milligrams is a pretty good dose, isn't it? I mean,
for
on
most
average.
Yeah, for most people, everybody's different. Like I like to use my husband and I as an example. 10 milligrams, he's great. I need upwards to 50. You know what I mean? So everybody's different.
Wow.
So you're eating half that bar.
And what is the difference? Why would you need more and he would need less?
So there's a lot of different factors that play part in that. So it could be, you know, metabolism, liver enzymes, what you ate that day. What you ate that day is a very, very big part on how much you're going to feel your edible. If you eat your edibles on an empty stomach, 9 times out of 10, you're probably not going to feel that edible. You know, what you would feel if you were on a full stomach with a little bit of a higher fat content and with whatever food that you ate. THC binds to fat. So when you eat something, you know, that THC, that fat helps the THC move through your system a little bit better and be absorbed a little bit more quickly.
Oh, very interesting.
Wow.
The other thing, what is the taste on that Plain Jane bar? What would you compare it to?
So most chocolate bars I've had, you know, they have a slight cannabis flavor, but I mean, the taste, the creaminess, like it really tastes just like a regular chocolate bar. And like, there's just a slight flavor of weed in it.
I'm curious. We're talking with Emily Williams. She is the general manager at the Ferguson Greenlight store. That product is done well. What else do you have to show us with?
So we have, I have a cartridge here. This is the sour tangy. So it's a specific strain that I grabbed because this is a nice, happy, uplifting one. This is a strain that I really like to bring to people's attention. You know, great for if you need a mood uplift, to help you get things done for the day. You don't want that couch lock where you can't get up and do anything. This strain is great to just get you through the day.
So what would you take it for? You said it's more of an uplifting feeling, or
you're dealing with any anxiety or any, you know, pain during the day, the sour tangy, this specific one is great to help combat those symptoms that come along with those.
Oh,
you said it's good for anxiety. Does it help anything like people who have an attention deficit problem?
So it does have some levels of certain terpenes that could promote focus. So yeah, I would recommend the sour tangy for somebody dealing with those issues.
What would be a price point on the Hershey bar, or I call it your Hershey bar, the Plain Jane bar, and that sour tangy?
So the Plain Jane, these two are for the underground event, so we don't have our prices finalized for that. But on the sales floor, our chocolate bars range anywhere from $30 all the way up to, you know, 60, 70, depending on what dose you go with, because we do have higher dose options available as well.
Got it. We have several people on our chat line that is asking questions about what you have for health reasons. If someone has neuropathy, is there any product there they can take?
Oh, there's plenty of products. And in one thing, you know, that's great about our staff. A lot of us deal with those issues. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when we have somebody coming in with a specific, you know, ailment, you know, we'll look around the room and be like, hey, you know, you have this, you know, what would you recommend? What works best for you? You know what I mean? So, and again, everybody's different too. So we have to think about different, you know, routes of administration. If they want to smoke, if they want to eat. So yeah, it all, you know, everybody's different, and we all take each patient as they come in and what they want, you know, to get out of their experience.
Emily, when it comes to do you guys recommend certain ages for people to be taking THC or not taking THC or certain products? Do you give advice from that standpoint and what somebody may need or want it for?
Are you saying with more like elderly people compare, like, are you saying like a lot?
Let's go with younger people for that question.
So, the younger crowd, I feel like they try a little bit of everything because, you know what I mean? Because it's such a new industry. There's so many new products coming out. I feel like the younger crowd is more open to trying more products compared to, you know, old school who's just used to smoking joints and things like that. Yeah, I would say that's like I see somewhat of a divide there, you know, with products. But, you know, like I said, with the education behind it, and if we really think that, you know, a product will help somebody, then, you know, we take our time to explain that and, you know, let them know the benefits. But yeah, I'd say there's definitely, you know, a difference.
Did you have other products that you wanted to show us today before we let you go? I didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh no, you're all good. I just brought another pack of gummy. Actually, this is the one I wanted to show because this one's great for pain. We have a 1-to-1 ratio product. So we have the THC that has that psychoactive effect, but CBD. It's been around for years. You see it all over the place. The downfall of the CBD and, gas stations and stuff, it's really hard to track back that testing and you don't know what you're actually getting. So these 1-to-1 like ratio products with THC and CBD, a lot of people have like kind of a negative outlook on CBD because of what it's been through, the past 10 years of being thrown a little bit everywhere. But the ratio products are really, really great for, neuropathy, like we were just talking about, and, different ailments, really, really benefit people.
Emily, once again, can you remind people about the underground that's coming up this weekend, all the details and how it can help people and what kind of products you're going to have there?
Absolutely. It's where the deals are going to be at this weekend. So Friday and Saturday at the Ferguson location on South Florissant Road, 517 South Florissant Road. We're going to have 7-8 vendors back here in the back that you guys will get to shop directly from at discounted prices. So like I said, this is where the deals will be at this weekend. Best prices in town.
All right, with one of the best hosts that you're going to find too. Emily, love you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the updates today and continued success. You guys continue to rock and roll in the state of Missouri, and we'd love to see all the new locations that are being built and or planned and or talked about. And of course, we want to remind everybody, go to our website, cancelthisshow.com. Download the coupon, take the coupon in, get a discount on some of the products that you need. Ask Emily, ask her staff in Ferguson, ask them anything. They love, legitimately, they love to help. They want you to come up and ask, not like it's at some other store and they just, you become a problem. They want to educate you, help you, because as she said, they're using products and it's helping you as well. And it helps them. And it's just one big happy family marriage. Emily, anything else you want to leave us before we let you go today?
Just point out our other locations. We have 4 in St. Louis. So we have our Berkeley location by the airport. We have our Chippewa location down in South City. And then we have our newest location on Manchester Road in Rock Hill. So go check them out as well.
Emily, we appreciate it. Have an awesome day. Go Greenlight.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Emily.
Lots of great energy there too. No doubt about that.
She's got energy and she's just a little spitfire. She's so
she
cute. She is so cute.
And she's a general manager, and you don't just become a general manager by chance. You have to know your products, and of course they care.
Absolutely.
And once again, we understand it's not for everybody, but it is for certain people, and it can work. And I was just asking her about that because I have a son that I've talked about in the past that refused to take any pharma drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the world's best psychiatrists works in the St. Louis area. Literally, he travels the world. And he is all for treating with marijuana. He is. However, he said he would not let anybody younger than 21 touch marijuana.
I think that makes
sense. And that's kind of the question I was asking. He's like, I think people should use it. They should use it instead of pharma. I'm like, damn, no wonder this guy is amazing. He literally travels the world speaking as a top psychologist. But his point is that he felt that kids under, at least from his studies, that kids or people, shouldn't say kids, but people under 21, some of their brains have developed, but most have not.
Correct. I would agree with any sort of, even pharmaceuticals. Be very careful to give your kids anything that could alter the way their brain is developed.
But my son is waiting.
So he's 21. Waiting for you. So after 21, he's going to have a gummy.
Well, we'll see, just to see if he can work with some of the issues that he's had to face. And it's not easy, as Emily was just telling us. There are people who are in there deal with certain situations, whether it's pain, whether it's some of the situations that we were just talking about when it comes to, ADHD, you name it, and they have found it. And if those products did not work for them, they would not be sitting in there promoting them. That's for sure. They would be trying to get something else that would possibly help them. We do our Weed Wednesday segments every Wednesday at 9:30, talking to different locations throughout the St. Louis area. You're not going to find more information when it comes to the weed, when it comes to the cannabis, than you do with Greenlight during our Wednesday segments. This is cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and Projo. Just as we continue to move from segment to segment, go figure, the House GOP released bank records, people, on Hunter Biden's payments from Russian and Kazakh oligarchs. We're talking another $20 million. This has nothing to do with Ukraine. This is another situation. So the Oversight Committee produced the redacted bank records. This is related to Burisma, Yelena Bertarina, and Kenneth Rakashev. So they say that a third memo that they released on Wednesday today, just this morning, shows that Hunter Biden and his business associates, the big man as well, Joe Biden, received millions of dollars in payments from Russian and Kazakhstani oligarchs when Joe Biden was vice president. Okay. It goes on. I mean, it's a 19-page memo. Of course, it provides screenshots, but they're redacted bank records. But $20 million came from the Ukrainian energy company, Burisma Holdings, as well as from the Russian oligarchs that were a problem. President Biden, or then Vice President Biden, by the way, attended dinners with these two oligarchs.
Nothing to see here, Vic.
So this is all coming out now. He met in person for significant periods of time with these Russian oligarchs. Then Vice President Biden quoted, this is not him speaking, but the House Oversight Committee, quote, then Vice President Biden joined approximately 20 phone calls on speakerphone with Hunter Biden's foreign business associates and attended dinners with foreign oligarchs who paid huge sums of money to Hunter Biden.
Wow.
Joe Biden, quote, who was the brand, was the only product the Bidens sold. And he bragged about it before in public settings. This is, it's a story that continues to add layer after layer. It's not going anywhere. We see these problems going on. What's going to happen? We get information being released now. I mean, you're talking money over $20 million, yes. and there's proof of this money coming in. It's not, and it wasn't just because Hunter had this job. And we were already told, Biden told us he never had any dealings with Hunter, his business partners. Then, of course, that proved to be a lie. And now we're getting more and more that's coming down. They reap millions of dollars for favors from Joe Biden. And it's easy to connect the dots. Right. Yes, there's proof. There will be Democrats and people who hate anything coming out against the party.
Correct.
Saying, well, there's no proof. Really? Flip the person. If this was Donald Trump.
Oh, they'd be all over his
what the
kids.
National media would be covering. And the national media last week was not covering anything regarding Hunter Biden or Devin Archer or any of the stories that were coming out. It was all Trump, 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 Trump.
All of it. And it's been projected back when all we heard is Russia, 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 Russia. And all of us at least thought it was a projection and it was really what they were doing. And now we know about it. And Greg C. is even saying, really? Do they really think we're that stupid to think Hunter Biden had any more special value than his daddy and really Obama? I mean, come on, we're not dumb. And we've been knowing this all the way back since about 2015 when they just kept screaming Russia, Russia, Russia with Trump. They even accused my friend Chanel of being a Russian oligarch. And it was like, come on, anybody even back then that was coming out about that, they were literally just saying who they are. It's ridiculous, but it's now coming out. But as it always does, it comes out when there's a sufficient period of time in between 2 and 5 years when we're not quite as angry as we were when we were getting accused of that exact thing, or our party was getting confused of that or convicted of that. Well, convicted and confused and all of it.
It makes me sick to my stomach to see that. But once again, we'll see what the rest of the day holds. We appreciate you guys always joining us for cancelthisshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and Projo. Once again, check out our partners page if you can. And if you know of anybody that would want to do some advertising with us, let us know. We told you we have some things happening on the show in regards to other shows coming to the network. We'll have more announcements about that coming up. Also, we're in the process of putting the merchandise page together, so you'll want to see that as well. And we'll be making products like that available to everybody.
Yes, great things are coming.
Go ahead, share the show. you can go ahead and send us a note, let people know how they can find us. Once again, canceltheshow.com. You can go through, look at previous episodes, run those as well. Check out all of our social media sites. You can stay in touch with us there as well. So for Joe and Lizzie, I'm Vic. Guys, have an awesome day. We appreciate you joining us for this August 9th podcast. Have a great day.